I do have 1 o'clock.
Okay, let's call the meeting to order. The roll call, show that Commissioner Jackson is absent.
Mm-hmm.
Approval of the agenda. Is there anything to add or take off of it? I didn't have anything. You have anything, Nick?
Nope, I do not.
I'll move approval.
A second, yep.
Just me and you.
Yep.
Have a motion and second to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, opposed? Okay, we have an agenda. Do we have any public comment?
No, sir, I do not.
All in, or nothing? If we move on to the consent agenda. Looks like we just have the 2 items. I'll move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that carries. Okay, I read the report, nothing really jumped out, I guess this is our first year of doing scholarship. And the scholarship award winner was actually the valedictorian.
Mhm.
So, kind of a better in our head. We didn't choose that, but that's the way it works, so.
Who lives just across the street from the public utilities?
So that was, didn't know, I talked to him a little bit.
Oh, no, that's Wogan. I'm sorry, Wogan didn't win it. No.
Yeah, well, it is Bella.
Yeah, that's right. She wasn't valedictorian. I apologize.
Yeah, I was pretty busy that night. The Legion gave away 3 scholarships, and then we recognized 3 graduates that are going into the military. That would be nice, but I enjoyed it. It's nice, good to help these kids out and get them on. Okay, do you have any questions on the report?
Nope, no questions on the report.
Just one thing I would want to point out, I think it was in Chrissy's report. We do have a parade coming up on June 5th. If any commissioners want to join us, you are more than welcome to ride along.
Be out of town.
I'm gonna be in it. We're gonna do that, so.
Very good.
I'm gonna be ahead of you guys, so. I told
Keep a good pace then.
Yeah, not too fast, not too slow, please.
That's right. I'm gonna be riding in the back of my truck, my son's gonna take it. Okay, on to the regular agenda, electric cap plan, phase 2.
Yes, Mr. Chair, in your packets, and we did send out some additional information yesterday. There is a memo 25-21 that goes through the different components to it. There is 2 task orders in order to continue to move forward with. I'm just trying to get there myself. The first one is to continue on the phase 2 distribution improvements. And I will also point out, we have Andy Koob from DGR Engineering, who is attending virtually, in case there are any questions from the commission. The phase 1 is the distribution upgrades. There were actually a couple of key items in there that I thought were important to point out, which is an upgrade of a line from the north sub to the plant sub from 4 to 750 on the west side to handle the load growth that we're seeing out there. Potentially doing some additional undergrounding of an existing 12470 line. And then doing a conductor upgrade down Old Highway 18, which is what would go past Plastic Products and Airways and the hospital down there. Staff have reviewed it. We're recommending approval for each of those items. Item 2, the overhead to underground conversion, we're just asking for a little bit more time for staff to complete their evaluation, but we think it makes sense to, we're recommending to move forward with Task Order 6, Amendment 1, with the additional conductor upgrades along Old Highway 18. The second task, which is Task Order number 9, is also phase 2, but it's the north substation work. This would allow DGR to begin preliminary design for those improvements. Given the long lead times for some of that key components, anywhere from 18 months to 3 years to maybe even more than that, It'd be nice to get started on that right away so that if we do have to order something and get in the queue, we can continue to move things forward. Did include in the packets, all this information came from DGR. So again, Andy's here to answer any specific questions. Their latest update to the opinion of probable costs, their cost estimates for the project for phase two, a preliminary schedule, and I think I'd even shared some of the layout designs as well with the commission. And so we're recommending approval of task order number 9 as submitted. But with that, again, if you have any questions, I'm ready.
So we're doing just, this is gonna be one action.
Yes,
The whole.
yep, at the end of the memo, I have a suggested motion for you.
Yeah. But well, okay, I don't know how much chance you got, Nick, to get into the ability.
I did spend some time this morning, you know, reading both tests and yeah, I don't have any concerns. We have been given kind of those budgets and one of them is gonna increase and I'm anxious to kind of move forward with them. I know we just don't know what kind of impacts tariffs are gonna have, so the faster we move ahead, the better, I believe.
Yeah, there's always some unknown, and then when we got into the back, what, 2021, I think
That's when the original.
it was always gonna be a 3-phase plan, and for each phase as it comes, and you never, nobody has a crystal ball, so you never know exactly what's going on. I think the DGR credit, I think they did a pretty phenomenal job of laying the whole program out, and with this action we're taking today, there's a couple of unknowns. You can't say that somebody dropped the ball or didn't see something they should have, or which can be a common criticism when these kind of change order things, but I'm comfortable with it, and I have some history.
Well, to that end, Andy, do you want to talk a little bit about the 4 to 750 upgrade for the western, northwestern line that we talked about the other day, just for the commission's information?
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
And can you turn up the volume?
Yep, working on it.
Try again, Andy?
How about now?
You bet.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So as a follow-up to what Keith mentioned there about the increase in conductor size from the 4 to the 750 on the northwest part of town there. The original study back in December of 2021 had not contemplated as much growth as we think we are going to see on that side of the community. And that will, fall into the electric service territory for PPU if it has not already. So in order to accommodate that additional growth, we need to upsize the conductor and reroute it to that area for the additional cost of around $994,000 estimated, of course. One of the things that Keith and I had talked about leading into this meeting was that the issue with serving that area in Princeton and not upgrading the conductor size is that we would need to put a new substation and new transmission over in that area to serve it. And that's really not needed in Princeton. There's plenty of transformation capacity in town for what we anticipate for load growth currently. So it's just a matter of getting that available capacity at your existing substations over to the areas of growth. At the same time, that conductor size has to be able to accommodate that new growth and be sized appropriately, both from a capacity standpoint and from a voltage drop standpoint. So that was the reason for the $994,000 increase rather than the $5 million plus for a new substation. So yes, it's more money, but it's a good thing to see your electric load growing with a new customer base.
Okay, thank you. I guess I just add to the first phase, we actually came under budget, what, $1 million, you think?
Yes.
So that's, kind of carried over into this next one. That's just one, there's a couple other things too, I know we talked about here. Some savings that were. And, you know, stuff to look into the future, again, nobody has a crystal ball, there can always be little minor changes. It may not be exactly what we're anticipating as far as the cost. You guys have all done a great job of, keeping our costs in check as much as possible.
The original budget is like 2.8, so half, a million of it is due to. Yeah, upgrading that line, so.
Correct. Business park,
Yeah,
and then, everything north of that as well.
So, the schools have the highway frontage there, that's gonna be exciting, I would think, or invitation for something to come in, you know. So that, I think the growth out that way is gonna happen. So it's better to be proactive than reactive, it's always been my position and stuff like that. So,
And if I may just add in briefly, the costs that were used for the December 2021 study they were third quarter 2021 costs. So as you can imagine, in the past 4 years, our industry, specifically the electric industry and really everybody else in America, has seen significant inflationary pressures. So those have hit the electrical industry as well, to the tune of like 4.5% at a minimum per year. So when you compound that over the 4 years since the original estimates were made, certainly there's something to be said there for inflationary pressures, but also the additional scope of work, if you will, in terms of what we are actually building compared to the study. So that's kind of what contributed to what I would call a significant increase in our cost estimates.
yeah, very well explained, and again, it's just better to be proactive than reactive for sure, and this is a big plan, a big project, and I think we're doing it, I feel comfortable we're doing it the right way. So I'll get the motion here, I'll go ahead and make the motion. The commission approved task order number 6 with the additional conductor upgrades and task order number 9. That's the motion.
second,
We have a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
aye,
Aye. Oh, that carries. Right, thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you very much. Guys, have a great day.
Yeah, you too, thank you. Okay, municipal facility space needs assessment. Is she all not here?
She is not,
And that's all right, she deserves a day off.
so, I'm sorry, I'm just getting my paperwork organized here. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. So, Michelle and I have been working on the approved RFP, that both the commission and the council, agreed to do a space needs assessment, for our facilities. There's 2 components to it. The first is to look at administrative needs, and then the second is to look at field services needs specifically for the utility. That RFP was approved in April by both bodies. We received a total of 9 proposals, which was more than I was expecting. It was we really generated a lot of good interest. Michelle and I met on Friday and went through and looked at things such as responsiveness to the RFP, capabilities, cost, prior experience, a lot of different factors. And her and I felt pretty comfortable narrowing it down to 3. But then at that point, we were really needing some additional input. And so the more we talked, we came up with a suggestion that given a project of this significance and the importance of having a a good fit, having a contractor that, meets the needs of our community, it would be good to have an interview panel set up. And so Michelle and I are proposing that we set up that interview panel. The attendees would be, Michelle and myself, a representative from the commission, a representative from the council, and then, we've asked Scott, to participate as well, given that the, part two with the field services, really intersects with the generation feasibility work that we've been working on in terms of if we ever want to add generation here at the power plant. So that, our proposal then is to have that interview panel sit in on interviews with the three finalists who would do a short presentation and then be available for questions. And then the panel could make a recommendation to both bodies, for ultimate selection. So, if the commission, agrees with that process, we would be looking for, an appointment, for, a representative of the commission to sit in on that interview panel, which we are tentatively scheduling for the afternoon of June 11th.
So is the intent for this, commission or this, group to only do the interviews, or would they have, input down the line doing it for like other meetings? Once somebody's selected, then there'd be ongoing, meeting.
Yeah, I guess we hadn't gotten that far. We were looking at it as a one-time,
Okay.
one-time event. As, you know, the proposal is for the winning contractor to interview staff, to interview folks that are, decision makers, to find out needs, come up with plans which will ultimately be presented to both bodies. And at that point, both bodies need to decide when and if, you move forward and how that looks. So this was really envisioned more as just, an interview, a one-time interview panel to help select, the winning proposal. And the interview panel, is, at least in the way we envisioned it, is purely advisory. They would just come up with a recommendation. It would still be up to the commission, the council to ultimately decide what each body wants to be.
And so the people on the committee council would have to be, you're talking about a 3-hour process.
Yeah.
Particular day, so.
Yeah,
From a personal, this is a project that's gonna be going on probably long past my time. I'm just being realistic about it. I know I ain't no spring chicken, and I wanna be involved by all means, but I just think this kind of a project might be better suited for. And I know you both, Tom has expressed interest that if you, I don't know how I can say this, you know, you being self-employed, maybe you'd have more flexibility to
Yeah.
set aside a day or half a day for this. And I don't know, Tom could probably, but he would manage, he'd not be overrated.
Correct.
And that's kind of been still in their busy time too, so.
Yeah, no, I looked at that date, I'm able to make that date, so I would be able to do it.
Do we need an action on that then?
yeah,
Okay, the commission, make a motion to appoint, Nick to serve as representative on the interview panel of finalists for the municipal space needs assessment RFP.
Second?
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hey, Nick, your job. Well, you'll do well. And Tom had indicated too, he said that.
Yes,
he's fine.
yeah, Tom responded to me. He was, okay to serve on it. He was also okay for Nick to do it as well. So, and now that you guys are stepping in volunteering, I'll find more stuff.
Tom's up next.
No, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, substation inspection. Guys, found something that was broken, needed to be fixed, huh?
So, as part of our, capital, plan for this year, we had an outside, contractor come in and do an inspection on the substations. During the course of that inspection, which we completed a lot of it, there's still more that needs to be done, so we'll be back in the fall. But as part of that inspection, they identified, and Scott's here to help correct me if I say anything wrong. Identified some potential cracking on 2 of these 3 69 kV primary bushings, at the plant substation right here. These bushings are, it's called an old U-style type bushing. They were manufactured between 54 and 1986. The bushings we have, we found dates from 1968, so we've gotten a lot of useful life out of them. But they do have a known failure condition, which we're starting to indicate. So it would seem prudent to be able to replace those now. If we did experience a failure that would create an outage, and that could be a significant outage, so we would like to avoid that. In addition, if they fail in a more catastrophic way, it could damage some of the surrounding equipment as well, which would be even worse. We have no indication that that failure is imminent, but it is starting to show wear. So that's why we think it's prudent to replace them now. We did get a quote for 3 new bushings, and that's price I want to say was $6,940 per unit, which doesn't include taxes and shipping. So we would be looking at a purchase of about $21,000. We have staff here that can do the replacement themselves, and then we probably do a little bit of baseline testing in the fall when the contractor comes back, just to make sure we know how those bushings are performing, and be able to compare them over time as we monitor our equipment. So we're asking for approval. This is a non-budget item. It was not predicted for our 2025 budget, so this is an addition to our other projects. We're asking for approval to purchase and install 3 new primary bushings, per the memo.
So moved.
Okay, we have a second. I just had it, I'll second it. In 1968 is when I graduated.
I seen the wheels spinning and I was like, I wonder what he's gonna, what he's gonna. Yeah, what year that was in his life, yes.
Oh, but that, I get, that just kind of quantifies or justifies why we do inspections. I mean, that's, you hope to catch stuff before it fails.
Yeah.
Well, but it's kind of a double-edged sword, or whatever you wanna say, because we are gonna be replacing that transformer. But if they do go, everybody that's on the 2400, we wouldn't be able to have,
And
they'd be out till we got it fixed.
Yeah, there's not really a
Could be
timeline.
weeks, months,
Yeah,
Yeah,
So- no. So.
no, that's, I mean, it's not the minimum $21,000, but in the big picture, it's a pretty minor expense for preventive maintenance.
Yeah, we're fortunate. Jim's got the capabilities to replace them without having to bring an outside crew in there, so that save us be a big bonus on that, because it's a fairly expensive thing that we're able to do.
And the testing, to test before we heat it up to make sure that they're good and everything, is kind of a wash, because we had budgeted to test the north subs transformer.
He was actually,
I was thinking we will.
no, well, he was thinking we would test in the fall, and we test the other one to get baseline.
Right,
He said he was okay with heating up, with just putting the new parts in and heating up. And
okay,
I clarified that with him this morning, actually,
but then he wants to retest it
in the fall to get a new
Okay.
baseline for going forward.
But regardless, the north substation transformer is not getting tested, so if they charge us, that wasn't $8,000 a transformer.
Yeah.
It's a wash, because we saved $8,000 this last time. Which is, so
Sure.
it'll just be the same budgetary, approximately the same number, so.
Well, again, that's what preventive maintenance, that was what it's about, inspections, and that's what it's all about, I guess. So yeah, I commend you guys for catching that stuff. Alrighty, we have the motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, okay, that carries. Well, unless anybody else has anything. That time, for your 25 minutes. Got a record, you want a record on.
Efficient though.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, second. For the aye,
Aye.
opposed, not carries. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.